Alright, another problem that we will take a look at is something like this. Two vertical poles are 14 feet apart. One is 16 feet tall and the other is 9 feet tall. A rope extends straight from the top of one pole to the top of the other pole. How long is the top or is the rope? Now, this seems like an unrelated problem to what we have been doing. However, if we use a little bit of logic and critical thinking, I bet we could figure this out. So, PS is my X. This is the thing that I am trying to find. Well, how could I possibly find it? Well, I've been using right triangles this far. So, is there any right triangle I could possibly make? There are basically two methods to get this. One is you can observe that this shape seems to be a combination of a rectangle and a triangle. I can tell this by seeing that, well, we have two right angles down here. It's going up like it is about to be a rectangle, but then it kind of slides down and makes this slope, which reminds me of a triangle. Therefore, I can split the object such like this and get what appears to be our right triangle. There is another way to do this involving a similar technique, which is I can extend my line like this and like that and actually make a rectangular object. And as a part of this rectangular object, I'll have this little divide here, PS. So, we can go with either method. They're going to work either way. I notice that this is a rectangle because I made the rest of the rectangle filled in. And this is still going to be my X. But what is the length of P? And I could call this, I don't know, Q. What's the length of PQ? Well, if it's a rectangle, then the opposite sides must be equal. Therefore, it's 14. Well, how about the length of QS? This length right here. I notice the entire length is 16, and this little length here from R to S is 9. Therefore, with a little deduction, I can figure out that the length QS must be 16 minus 9, which is 7. So, now I have a right triangle. Now I can figure out what X is. We have 14 squared plus 7 squared equals X squared. Now, 14 squared is 196 plus our 49. And we set that equal to X squared. Now, where can I go from here? Well, if I'm adding these two values together, well, all I have to do is add 4 from this 49 to get to 200, right? So I have 200 plus, and if I took away 4 from here, I'd have a leftover 45. And then, if I could combine those together, it's a fairly easy addition problem of 245. And we're going to set that equal to X squared. Now, where can I go from here? Well, take the square root on both sides, like this. Get X equals. Now, what is the square root of 245? Well, if I notice the number 245, it ends in a 5, therefore is divisible with 5. So let me try dividing by 5. 5 does not go into 2, but it does go into 24 4 times. 5 times 4 is 20. Subtract the difference to get a 4. Then I bring the 5 down and get 45. Now, how many times does 5 go into 45? Well, it goes 9 times for a perfect 45 and a remainder of 0. So, therefore, I know that 245 is equivalent to the square root of 5 times the square root of 49. Well, the square root of 49 is 7, and I have a leftover square root of 5. And that is the length of the rope PS.